Look at this. I heard something weird and then Nancy was doing that. She's like standing on the glass. And look at what's going on. And this cat has a collar. So there's a tuxedo outside and it has a collar.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It's 11 a.m. and I just walked past the room and saw this. So Boo is hanging out by the window and look who's watching Boo. Nancy. So Boo does not look too happy right now. At all. And it looks like Nancy's stalking him. So I just gave Boo some pets and I gave Nancy some pets. And now Nancy is... She looked like she was going to pounce on Boo. Boo just hissed at her. Boo's giving her dirty looks and hissing at her, so she better watch herself. You better watch yourself, Nancy, okay? Because you could go back downstairs. I don't have to let you guys up. You okay, Boo? You okay? So let me tell you what happened. It's 11:25. And Boo was sitting here by the window. Nancy had left the room. She was walking around, and I saw her in the hallway. So I was like, hey, Nancy, how's it going? And I was petting her, and I was having a talk with her, and I was telling her that she's a nice girl, she's nice, you know, I was trying to, just talk some sense into her. Literally, the minute I stopped petting her, she runs into this room and jumps on Boo, like takes a flying leap onto Boo. And I just started yelling at her, and then she went under the day sofa. So then I picked up the blankets that are covering the day sofa, and I told her she has to go downstairs. She ran right downstairs. So she's smart enough to know go downstairs, but I don't understand why she's trying to attack the cats. You okay, Boo? Boo does not need to be attacked. Right, Boo? You okay? So there wasn't really that much of a fight because like Nancy just took a running leap onto Boo. And then he backed up and then she backed off, but I don't know what the hell's wrong with her. You okay, Boo? You okay? You right? Let's fix this. Let's fix this, Boo. We'll make it nice and neat again, okay? It is around 3 p.m. And I don't know if you could see this, but through the greenhouse there's a skunk. And I've never seen a skunk around here during the daytime. I don't know if this skunk is well. I don't know if there's such a thing as a rabid skunk. The skunk looks really, it's not really white. It's more like dirty white. So, there it is. Yeah, I'm gonna go inside. I don't need any issues. It is 3:30 p.m. and here's Sammy. Hello, Sammy. Sammy loves this cat tower. She's so happy here. So I decided to call animal control and ask them about the skunk because as long as I've lived here, I've never seen a skunk wandering around during the day. And also it did not look healthy. It was kind of stumbling. So I said, let me just call, see what they would do. So I talked to the woman at animal control. She was very, very nice. And she was saying that it could be all different things. It could be distemper, not necessarily rabies. It could just be old age. It could be poison. Maybe someone left poison out for the skunks. It could be that it was hit by a car. So, we're talking about the whole skunk issue. And she says, by state law, unless it's on someone's property and it's injured or something like that, they can't come out and do anything. So she said, if I see it on my property and it's visibly injured, then they can come out and do something. So I was like, all right. So then I started asking her about the TNR waiting list because I'm still on it. I got myself on that list back in September and now it's April. So we're talking 7 months ago. So I asked her about it. So I said, can I ask you a question? What's the status of your TNR waiting list? I was on it back in September. I never heard anything about it. And she goes, yeah, you're still on it. If you haven't heard back, you're still on it. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was asking her about the situation, and she said, well, what happens is sometimes people get bumped because if there's a hoarding situation, that takes priority, and some other people, like if they know somebody, that takes priority, and it also depends on the number of cats, that can take priority. So she's making all these excuses as to why some people have been on the list a very long time. So then I was asking her, I was like, well, what can help that situation? Like, how can that situation be helped? Is it a money issue? Is it a personnel issue? Is it a space issue? So she told me it was all three. She said they don't have enough space there because they have to house the cats while, you know, they're recovering, I guess, 24 hours, 48 hours or whatever from the surgeries. So she's saying they don't have enough space to put all the cats, and obviously they would need more people to handle more than they're currently handling, and of course everything takes money to do. So she was saying like it's multiple faceted, and I was like, oh, okay. And so then we're talking about the private rescues, and I was saying hypothetically if someone opened up a private rescue, would that be helpful for you guys? She goes, oh yeah, that would be helpful. She's like, hypothetically, if it was a really big rescue and it could handle a lot of cats, it was a good size operation, she said that would be wonderful. She goes, but that's a pipe dream, that'll never happen. At that point, I got so mad. I didn't let her know I was mad, but I was pissed off, like internally pissed off, because anybody who has that attitude, if you have an attitude that something is a pipe dream and something will never happen, guess what? It will never happen. In order for something to happen, someone first has to believe that it can happen. Someone first has to be able to visualize it in their head, in their mind, in their thoughts as already existing. If you can picture it in your brain, if you can picture it in your thoughts, then it can exist in reality. And the problem that we have with regards to TNR issues, cat issues, is that we have people that have negative attitudes that say things like, oh, that's just a pipe dream, that'll never happen, that will never exist. Well, guess what? It will never exist for you if you keep thinking like that. If you continue with that attitude, that problem will never get better. If you can't visualize a solution, there will never be a solution for that problem. And that's the problem that we have. Right, Sammy? Sammy says right. Sammy says that's horrible that these people would think like that. That is seriously one of my pet peeves. Sammy, you're so cute. You're so cute, Sammy. Also, I should mention that I did not tell her that I already had the cats TNR'd and taken care of, because I want to see how long it takes before they actually call me and say that they're ready to TNR the cats, at which time I'll be like, oh, okay, well, I'm done already. You guys can cross me off your list. I so wanted to tell her that I now had 35 cats that I had to TNR. I wanted to be like, yeah, well, I called you in September because I had 7, but now it's 35. But I didn't say that. And I'm not even going to think about that because I don't need 35 cats to TNR. But that's what happens. And I'm sure it's happening all over New Jersey for everyone else that they haven't gotten back to. It's 6:20 p.m. and here's Simba. So he's under the dining room table right now because I just let him out of the bedroom and he was ambushed by Richard. I don't know what got into Richard, but Richard just ambushed him. And there was some kind of cat fight in the living room, and I was not in the living room, so I start screaming for them to break it up. The next thing you know, Simba's here under the dining table, and I chased Richard downstairs. His tail was all big. So Richard's tail was all big, and I wanted to show you Simba because Simba has the ability not just for his tail to get all big and puffy, but like all of his fur gets big and puffy. Like his face got big and puffy, his body got big and puffy. Like you've seen a cat's tail get big and puffy when, like, you know, they're scared or when they're trying to look tough. Simba's entire body just got big and puffy. I was looking at him going, oh my gosh, he turned into a giant puffball. He's since come down a bit. Simba, look over here. Like right now he's not as puffy as he was, but I was like, oh my gosh, he got so puffy. It's 2:25 p.m. and I wanted to show you the cats in their beds because 5 out of the 7 cats were in their beds. So there's Ringo and there's Ziggy, and Goldie was next to Ziggy, but she just jumped out when I put the camera on. Here's little Eva, and there's Sammy. The only 2 that aren't here are Nancy and little Richard, and that's because they're upstairs in the cat towers. And there's Goldie. It is 3 p.m. and look at this. I heard something weird and then Nancy was doing that. She's like standing on the glass. And look at what's going on. And this cat has a collar. So there's a tuxedo outside and it has a collar. I never see cats around here wearing collars. So that's good. I'm glad it's wearing a collar, but I don't know. I hope it's not lost and gonna make a home here. I hope it belongs to somebody local. It's about 4:15 p.m. right now, and I bought this giant litter box at a local supermarket today. And I bought it because I'm supposed to be leaving really early tomorrow for Easter, and I don't know what time I'm getting back. So I'm gonna be gone for a really long day, and I want to make sure I have enough litter boxes down here. So right now in this corner we have the high-sided litter box, and then in here I have a large litter box, and then these are the 2 from IKEA that used to be in the shelves upstairs. So I have a total of 4 litter boxes, but there's 7 cats. And I think if I'm going to be going away like on an overnight trip, I'll definitely need to have like 5 litter boxes here. So that's why I got this one. Also because it was cheap. It was like less than $8 and it's really big. And so for this size litter box, I thought it was a really good deal. I haven't figured out where I'm going to put it yet though. I think I might just put it here in front of the door because sometimes when I come down here, the door is almost completely shut. And if the cats ever did that, like if they ever managed to shut this door, then someone would probably be stuck in here and they wouldn't have any litter boxes. Like they'd be down here without any litter boxes. So I think by putting it here in front of the door, they still have room to walk around it, but it'll also help hold the door open. There's Sammy. She's gonna smell it, check it out. I'm not gonna fill it up yet. Hey Sammy. But I thought I would just bring it down here and just kind of think about the placement. I do have to vacuum. It is about 10:30 a.m. I just came downstairs to see what's going on down here and give everyone like a real breakfast. So yesterday I was gone for a full day. I left early in the morning and I didn't get back until close to midnight. When I did get back, I gave the cats a little bit of canned food. So I opened up 2 cans of food so they each got about a quarter of a can of food just as a little snack at night because I did set up the automatic dry food feeder for them. Let's take a look at what's going on with that right now. So this is where I set up this automatic feeder. I did not set it up like this at all. There's a bowl here. There's another bowl under here, and then it's kind of facing the air purifier. I set it up here, and then the bowls were nice and neat on each side of the feeder. What happened was I looked at the security camera footage this morning, I don't know, around 5 a.m. Someone just went running through here, and the whole thing got moved over. So it dispensed this morning, like all over the floor, but it looks like they ate the majority of it. Actually, excuse me, it did not dispense anything this morning. I have it on pause. So I guess last night when I was giving them the canned food, I actually paused this because they still had quite a bit of dry food in these bowls that they had not eaten. So when I was away yesterday, I set this to go off twice for dinner because there's only 2 bowls here, and so this is how it was set up. It was set up to dispense food into both of these bowls, and I have it set to dispense 2 cups at a time, so 1 cup would go in each bowl. And I have it doing that around 5 p.m. So it's like a cup in each bowl. And then again around 8 p.m. So I figured between both of those feedings, there's 4 cups of food. That would be like a half cup per cat. It might be too much, but I figured whatever they don't eat, they would save for later. And when I got back, you could see there's quite a bit of food left in this bowl. So that's probably why I put a pause on it. It's a good thing I did, because otherwise it would be like all over the place. And this is the extra litter box that I set up for them, and it worked out really well because they did end up using the litter box. There was litter all over the floor when I got home yesterday, so I did sweep it up. So some of the litter was kicked out because they were laying in it and rolling around in it because it was a brand new litter box with brand new litter. But I did scoop all the litter boxes out last night, and yeah, there was plenty of room left in all the litter boxes. So if I was to stay over somewhere on like a 24-hour trip, 5 litter boxes of this size would really do the trick, because these are all really big litter boxes. So it's good to know that I could go away on a 24-hour, 36-hour trip, and these cats will easily be taken care of between the feeder and the litter boxes. So this is an automatic feeder that dispenses food at set times. I still have the gravity feeder that just keeps a constant supply of dry food out. The reason why I didn't use that one is because I've started to see ants in the house over the past few days. Like every year I battle ants, and I don't want to jinx anything, but so far this year it hasn't been as bad as previous years. But again, it's still early. That's why I didn't want to just put the gravity feeder out, because the dry food does attract ants, and at least in here it doesn't attract as many ants because it's pretty much sealed up. I mean, they could still probably crawl in through the front, but they haven't done that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get their breakfast ready. Probably going to refresh their water and kind of get them back on their daily schedule. The upstairs cats are eating their breakfast now also. Okay, so everyone is eating their food. Everyone is happy I'm back. They're all excited, and Richard, Nancy, and Sammy were giving me lots of pets and headbutts, and there's 6 of them, and there's Sammy. Originally I gave them all the plates on the platter, but they wanted to kind of eat separate. That's fine. They're getting homemade raw food for breakfast with some freeze-dried chicken on top. Okay, who wants treats? Who wants treats? Who wants a treat? Here, Richard. Okay, Sammy. Goldie. Eat it. Okay. Here, Ringo. Okay, who's next? Little Eva. Oh, Ziggy. Here, Ziggy. Okay, Ziggy got one. Everyone got one except for little Eva. What happened to the cat tower? Why is the cat tower down like that? Who knocked the cat tower over? It's 10 p.m. and there's Sammy. So she decided she wanted to come upstairs. She didn't want to stay downstairs. So tonight is going to be an experiment. What's going to happen? Is she going to stay up here? Is she going to bang on the door and cry and try to go back downstairs? I opened the door for her so she could go back downstairs, and she ran in the opposite direction. So we'll see. I mean, she's been on really good behavior. She doesn't try to attack cats. And she just took herself downstairs, so that answers that question. It is 9:15 a.m. and look what I just found. Look at this. So these are the curtains that belong on the back door. And here's my back door, and I guess they were hanging up here. So it looks like, okay, somehow they got the curtain rod down from the top of the door. Someone must have been jumping up there. And yesterday I edited a video that explained how Sammy can jump to nearly the top of a door. So I blame Sammy. Also right now she appears to be hiding. Nancy just jumped the gates. I have to feed the other cats their breakfast up here. There's water on the floor because I was refilling the water bowls. Uh-oh. Here's Boo. Here's Nancy. Nancy, you gonna go back downstairs? Yeah, you gonna go back down? Go ahead. Go back down. Jump. Jump. Thank you for watching this Lucky Ferals video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like me to post more videos, and please make sure to check out these other videos that were selected especially for you.